love. Welcome to Queerify, formerly known as Quest, a journey to wellness. On this podcast, we demystify what wellness means for QPOC. I'm V, aka Loveness Monster. I'm a two-spirit human, joy influencer, and all pronouns are accepted. With respect, of course. It's a new year, y'all, and it's the time for new collaboration and a new form of medicine. But before I tell you what in the world I am talking about, today is Doomsday Part 2. I know that sounds a little drastic, but the man is in the White House again. What in God's green earth? They're letting that man back in the White House? I thought they changed the locks the last time he was there. But they carved him a new key. Sheesh. I will say, last time he was there, community collaboration went through the roof. It was like people were taking action, and right now, Aquarius season of action. I'm excited for what's to come. When I said earlier about new collaboration and new form of medicine, what I'm talking about is that today we got a special kind of episode that we're going to start providing every zodiac season. And we brought back Mr. Gary DeAndre, who will be providing the medicine today. And what medicine, you ask? And who's Gary DeAndre? Well, Gary DeAndre is also known as Gangsta Gurry, also known as Gigi, the author of the queer tarot deck, Tarot for You and Me. So, yes, the medicine is tarot, y'all. I know you might have some skepticism inside of you, or you're full in like grabbing your tea and your blanket and ready for this episode. Let me tell you, this medicine is exciting, is deep. We go through some current life experiences that both of us are going through that align with the medicine that Gigi is going to provide today with one card from his deck he's going to pull for Aquarius season. And the alignment is crazy, y'all. At least for me, it is crazy. And the rest of the team also agreed. It aligns so well. I hope that it encourages you to ask yourself the questions that come up, because we dive into it. So I encourage you and I invite you to also look at what comes up for you. Reflect on these questions that come up. And hopefully you share with us. You talk to us. We talk to you. We build this community in collaboration, in action. And let's do the dang thing. So welcome back, Gangsta Gurry, Gigi, Gary. Welcome back, honey.
Hi, it's so good to be here. Thank you for having me, V.
Yeah. The whole team was so excited to have you back and on this project together to provide this medicine for the community.
I love sharing, and I love you all. I was about to say, because we met last year and it was just like vibes, like immediately, you know what I'm saying? So it is truly an honor to be here and share not with you all, but also with your community. And I'm super excited to get to the medicine of the day.
Absolutely. And for any of you that weren't able to or haven't gotten to it yet, listen to Gary's episode previously from last year. Gary actually has their own queer tarot card deck. If y'all don't know, stop what you're doing right now, go to Google and type
Tarot for You and Me. So I always got my deck on deck, period. It looks like this. It's purple. It's rainbow. It's cute. Be careful with it because sometimes the pages like to act a little funny. But aside from that, it's a wonderful deck. The way I thought about it is kind of just like from my queer experience, being able to share what traditionally in tarot shows up, but kind of like intermingling it with my queer experience, other people's queer experience, and bringing just something different to the table.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be one of those people to say that I've always been a skeptic. I grew up religious, so religion had me thinking one way, and then I was questioning all of religion even tarot and everything. But lately, everything has been like making so much sense, from astrology to tarot to planetary alignments and all of that. I was just kind of like, yo, this stuff makes sense. And for y'all skeptics out there, get through this episode and you're going to be blown away. Blown away. And
they'd be showing up and it's like, girl, like, what is this? This was not supposed to be making sense. How did you know that tea? Because I didn't tell you that tea. And why are you reading me for books right now? Like, that's not what I came here to the table for. And I'm like, sister, that's just what the universe wanted to say to you. So get into it.
Yeah. It's actually kind of scary and exciting all at the same time.
I love that. Well, thank you for letting me share in this way with you all.
Yeah. And before I jump into some of the things that like jump me a little bit more out of my skepticism, tell a little bit about yourself to folks just who don't know you yet, who want to know a little bit more about you.
Okay, that's a great question. So I'm Gary, Gigi for short, 35, live in New York. Been doing tarot for about, if this is 2025, about 8 years at this point. I started really getting into like crystals, essential oils, like all of the vibey things. You know what I'm saying? Trying to like help to like elevate my personal foundation. And then I started like getting readings from like other people. And it was just very helpful for me to figure out what direction I was like headed in my life. Like late 20s and stuff like that. Everybody talks about how your late 20s are like this time where you're adjusting to being an adult, right? And I was like, I would like a little help on this journey of adjusting to being an adult. And tarot helped me to like figure out not just where I was going, but what I could do to help situate myself in a way that felt very like grounding, just felt #correct. And for me, tarot has really like helped me to maneuver through like my day to day, or sometimes when it's like a moment where you're trying to like look into something that's coming up like in the future and want to just like be aware of like the vibes that are like coming with that. Tarot has been really helpful for me to just ground myself and bring myself back to this state of being like centered, you know what I'm saying? And making decisions that make sense instead of coming from a place of overwhelm or coming from a place of like anxiety or coming from a place of, oh my God, I have all these things going on and nobody's answering my fucking phone calls. Sorry for cursing.
Don't you worry.
Thank you. But no, it gives me this opportunity to like come back to myself and just like reorient the direction that I'm going and some of the choices that I can make in order to help myself feel more successful as I'm going through my life journey. So that's how like my tarot journey began. And what I like to offer to other people is just like an opportunity to like look at the energy that's surrounding you and make sense of the things that are going to be important for you as you are traversing through your personal experience like at this time.
I love that. It sounds like a little bit more personal, whereas in religion, you rely on other people to tell you what to do, other people that are like your guide, whereas tarot gives you a little bit more of a curated thing for you.
Yes.
And sits you in you and not in like a codependency that somebody else is going to guide you through it all. Instead, it's like, I got this.
Okay.
So,
and if I don't got
this, really beautiful.
I got somebody else that could help me tap into something that I may be like missing. Because I think that's the other beautiful thing about tarot. Like your interpretation personally may be very different from somebody else's experiences or what they see or what they're like vibing with or like what makes sense to them. And I feel like, especially with folks that are open to taking advantage of like those opportunities, like it's very helpful for you, not just to connect with yourself, but connect with like the people around you and really allow them to help you with the guidance or the direction or the wisdom that it is that you're looking for to help you move forward.
It's more community building than that black and white. Like, look, the book says this. You got to do this. Don't do that because then you're going over there and you don't want to go there.
Absolutely. And it's just like, listen, it's all a suggestion, but I'm going to make the decision that feels the best for me with all of the wisdom and all the information I have like at this point. And if you feel some type of way about it, that's cool. thanks for helping, appreciate it. But like,
Yeah,
I have all the tea in
exactly.
front of me, so I'm going to make my decision based on the tea that's in front of me and how I'm feeling. So I think of it as like an opportunity to help others figure out the vibe that they're currently in and figure out the vibes that they could potentially
Mhm.
have and what work has to exist in between like those
Yeah,
binaries to help them get to that point, or either be on the peripheral of that point and see what they could
yeah,
potentially have and what the experiences that they're having are bringing to their life. Very complicated, but also it's
yeah.
exciting because, you know, people are excited.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like just tuning into yourself more
Mhm.
with this medium, with this medicine,
Yes, absolutely.
you
Feeling the
know, and
burnout.
everything's trying to separate us.
And it's just like we
Exactly.
here, we see each other. Like, I want to be in a place where I can feel what's going on, may not know exactly what you have going on, but I can sense something in that between the two of us and connect on that vibration. You know what I mean? Because when you're vibing, you know what I mean, with like a person that like meets you where you are or like understands where you are, there's space for expansion. And that is one of the most powerful things through this lived experience.
And speaking about like separation and collaboration, it brings me back to my thought earlier about my skepticism, because the way that the planets have been arrived, I've been watching a lot of different like astrologists and like different things, and it was basically the time of separation. It was the time of pulling people apart, and now the way that the planets are aligning is that the last time the planets were aligned this way was a time of revolutions. We had the American Revolution, the French Revolution, Industrial Revolution, and the Haitian Revolution. So I'm just like, ooh, like something's brewing, like, and we feel it. We feel people coming together, like these fires in LA, like stuff with Palestine, like people are coming together, and Black Lives Matter, like everybody's like tired of the separation and is
Absolutely.
coming together.
Yes. And finding people that like connect with you where you actually are, not where you like used to be, not where like, a former experience was, like finding you where you are and like building that up. Because I feel like that's like super important to like have access to, because we all want to feel supported. But if we're not allowing ourselves the space to like open up to let people know like where we're checking in from, and then also allowing others to reflect and respond with their own personal wisdom and own personal, just like lived journeys. And I think that those are the things that help people come together, simply put, but also be in a
Absolutely.
space where they can help elevate one another and hold each other accountable. Because I think that that's also really important too.
As you explained that, I imagined like people sitting around a fire and just sharing stories.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do that like we used to way back when that was the thing to do. You share those stories, and
Okay.
that was how that collective mind happened, and not just somebody telling you this is how you're supposed to think.
Right.
This is how you're supposed to do this during this timeline. You know, it's a lot of supposed tos, and I think that we're ridding that. But I don't want to like jump into like my speculations of what may or may not be happening.
I was loving it. I was like, please keep it coming. Because, you know, I'm always going to sit here and communicate with you and be like, listen, this is what's happening. This is what I'm vibing on. This is what you're vibing on. This is the vibe. So, what are the other girls thinking? You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But we can
yeah,
always move on to
yeah,
something new.
yeah. Just from like my thoughts on Aquarius season and stuff like that. My Aquarian fellow folks that I know, they're always big about like social change, like making something like change, but like with so much authenticity, with so much like deepness, and a beauty from the darkness, if you want to say that. The way that they package it is just so, you need that darkness to get this change. Like we need the duality of it all, where a lot of people are like, oh, just shed it, release it, get it out of there. Where it's like, no, let's change this into something, is like very much what I think when I think of Aquarius season and Aquarians of that matter.
It's
Yeah.
like, let something come to me and inspire me. You know what I mean? But like, genuinely inspire me, like not in the sense of like doing this to match what you think somebody else wants. You feel what I mean? Like it has to come from like this space of being very genuine, very like authentic and tapped into who you are, what makes you tick, what makes you feel fulfilled, and how can you share some of that fulfillment with the people that you surround yourself with, right? So I think a lot about like Aquarius season, about like this moment where you are reestablishing what it means to have community and just like reestablishing what it means to have like people around you that you trust, that you want to continue to grow with, that you're wanting to continue to expand with, learn from, go through the complete rigmarole of like life's experience. Not people who you are, you know what I mean? Like enjoying the vibes, but like not necessarily gaining anything from the experience. And I think that that's like really important for the folks, because I'm going to say that this is for the girlies out there. You know what I'm saying? This is for the people that actually want to like take ownership of their life and do something about it. You know what I mean? And like put forth action, put forth like responsibility, put forth like all of the energy that helps you to feel like you are on an upward trajectory. If you're not really like giving that, you know what I'm saying, then this ain't for you. And it's no shade. That's perfectly fine. Sometimes we don't want to do shit, and that's okay. Like sometimes you got to have like, you know, like in sports where they're like, oh, this is like a bye week. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to have like a bye week or a bye year. It's just like, okay, this year's not really giving, so I'm just going to la-di-da, whatever. But I think that this information and these like vibes right now are for the people that are in a space of not just wanting to do the work, but consciously being aware of the intention and the energy that it takes to like help yourself expand.
I love that. And I just think about different projects and different like collaborative discussions that are going on in my life with different folks. And that is the constant thing that's been coming up. Or like, okay, how can we provide something to strengthen the community? And how can we make it accessible? And how can we make it to where like both sides of the organizers and the people coming in are learning from it, are gaining something from it, are just all together getting strong, not just one side, not just the other, but everybody's getting strong together.
Yes. That sense of responsibility. And like, I don't know if you've noticed, but it feels like, I don't know if it's the older I get or like the times that we're like living in, but the people are very self-interested. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody's solely looking out for themselves. People are not looking out for each other. You know what I mean? Like the way that they used to. Because I'm not saying that it was perfect like back in the day, but there used to be these senses of being around folks and being in community with people that are supporting, growing, being in a space where we are in a trajectory moving forward. And everybody is very much looking at other folks like, girl, this is mine. That's yours. With like disgust. You know what I mean? Like not with a sense of like this. And I feel like specifically with this Aquarius season that we are stepping into like this year, the vibes that I'm getting is very much important for you to be in community with others. That could be community in the sense of like, okay, like I love this gay dodgeball league that I go to every Saturday. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to hang out with the girls and we're going to throw balls at each other. Like cute. You know what I mean? Or it could be like the vibe of, okay, like my sister lives up the street. I don't see her very often. I'm going to make it a responsibility of mine to like check in on her, whether physically or virtually or whatever, once or twice a week. Being conscious of the things that already exist that you enjoy and like you spend time with, and putting more energy to those things. Because I think one, that's obviously like really important, but those same connections like help to prime like the pump as far as like your own personal growth and development, as far as like the things you're interested in, the things you want to do, like your dreams, like whatever. Like when you're talking with people that you trust, and people that you like have those connections with, you're always going to find a new nugget. And sometimes we don't allow ourselves to be like vulnerable enough to like get that nugget. But I feel like this Aquarius season specifically is really about, one, recognizing those connections in our lives, and two, being bold enough to experience those and like live in those and like not be fearful of other people's like reactions or responses, and fully embracing what that means. And I think that this is like not just the time to do it, not just the year to do it, but like the environment to do it. We're having all of this shit happen, especially in Aquarius season with Trump getting back into office, which I'm not even about to get on that right now because we obviously don't love that. You know what I'm saying? My queer titties right now are like, girl, this is not the tea, okay? But it's the tea that we have to work.
It's that darkness.
It's the darkness. The dark past.
It's that darkness that needs to be transformed.
Honestly. And it's helping us to recognize like what is true for us, what is like genuinely important for us that we know we need to like put energy behind in order to be like not just supportive of, but like ambassadors of, and like fully live and experience and be in a space where we can fully like embrace that, instead of feeling like, oh, I don't know. I don't know what the vibes are. Like, I don't know people that think, girl, like nobody has time for that. Be around the people that love you. Be around the people that are going to build you up. If you want to be a hot mess, they're still going to love you being a hot mess because that's what you're supposed to do. That's what this Aquarius season is bringing for us right now.
Absolutely. I feel like I've been doing that a lot in my life lately. I've been erasing the shoulds and all of that, like, and releasing my almost obsession or maybe grudge of like, why aren't these people better? And instead being like, you know what? They're arriving the way that they're going to arrive. I can arrive differently. And if I want to still foster that because of a thing called blood, then I need to figure out how to arrive differently and not expect certain things that it's not going to arrive that way. So I've been catching myself, putting myself in certain bubbles and strengthening relationships where I'm feeling like people are choosing me. And that can look like cheering me on and celebrating my successes, or that can look like calling me out on some toxic behaviors that I'm arriving with and allowing me the space to like correct it and to have conversation of like, well, how is that toxic? And then even if I get all revved up, they're still like super chill, or kind of like I see that this is triggering, and this is a trigger is telling me like, yo, this is an area for you to grow. Right. And I leave mad, and then I come back and I'm like, you know what, you were right. And they still love me and they still choose me. I love that you are like, they still love you. You know what I mean? Because like at the end of the day, like no matter what, whoever you're dealing with, whatever situation you find yourself in, you need to be fucking with people that are going to fuck with you long body. There shouldn't be any question or reservation about the experiences someone is having with you. And if their experience is negative, like that's perfectly fine. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But what I am saying is, do you need to continue to spend your time, your focus pouring into these people, these situations, these environments, because obviously it's taking something from you, and life is short and we don't have all the time in the world and all the energy to give. So I think it's really about like being conscious of like where you're checking in from, what you need, and also just going out and finding that, but also setting the boundary and the expectation that that is what's coming into your space as well. Absolutely. Period.
Okay, period.
And made me think of like you going out there and like on a search of like what you need, and brings me back to the medicine. You did a pull for us today and for the Aquarius energy, correct?
Yes, I did. And I was waiting for you to ask because, you know, I got it ready for us.
Yeah. And for those of y'all that are like, what the heck is a pull? That is pulling tarot cards. Well, I'll let you explain because you probably explain it much more beautifully than I can.
Well, I feel like no, but I'm going to let you ride with that. And I'm like, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you for building my head up with that. But for me, this is just my personal experience, my personal vibes as a reader for many years. A tarot pull for me is really just like an opportunity to see like the energy that's surrounding you, the actions that you should take, and the suggestions that would be like the most important to help you traverse through a specific period or help like answer a specific question. And just like what will be the most, not just necessarily helpful, but the most like grounding, like energy and like information that's going to make the most sense for you in this chapter of your life. So before we started recording and everything like that today, I was like, well, what's Aquarius season given? Because this is obviously like the Aquarius reading and everything like that. And we started talking about Aquarius vibes. I was about to say even the world outside, because I know that y'all hear that horn going off right now. Is like going off. It's like the streets are like, girl, what's the tea? I need to know the tea right now. But no, basically like a reading for me is like an opportunity to like share, give direction, and also just like help with making sense of where you can potentially go on your emotional journey, your spiritual journey, your physical journey, whatever the cards kind of like speak to. So are you ready for the card of the season?
I'm ready.
Okay, because you had your shoulders going there.
Doing a little dance.
Yeah, okay. All right. So this came out a couple days ago, so I've had some time to really like sit with it, ponder it, like experience it. But the card that came out is the Ace of Lanterns, okay? So I know for those of you that are like listening, maybe not watching or what have you, with this card specifically, because it does come from my deck, again, plugging tarot for you and me. This is one of the cards that comes from my deck specifically. But with the Ace of Lanterns, this is going to be the traditional like Ace of Wands for any tarot readers out there. But what I got from the Ace of Lanterns is just like a person that is really just like looking for their purpose, looking for their journey, like really trying to like make sense of the path that they are finding themselves on and all the things that are necessary for them to be successful. It's not being down the road energy. It's energy of like being at the starting gate. With the aces, these, you know what I'm saying? Like you got the aces in playing cards and stuff like that. So, you know, aces can be a 1 or they can be, I think it's like a 13 or something like that. They're like the highest card of the deck. Specifically here, what this is representing is you having the opportunity to start over, do things, be successful, follow through, figure out what it is that you are following through on. Because this card is coming up in reverse, I know some people don't read reverses. I do. For me, because this card is coming up in reverse, this is kind of like signaling somebody who is having a hard time taking those first steps, being very unsure, being very unmotivated, being in a space where you're like underserved, like you're not getting the support that you need in order to help yourself feel like you are successful, feel like you are doing things like, you know what I'm saying? You shooting the shit, being that bitch, like whatever you want to call it, like you're not getting that right now. And you need to find the things that are going to help you to be successful, like in that way, and make some of those things come to fruition as you are spending this time on this like leg of your spiritual journey.
Can you explain a little bit more about reverses? Because I'm aware, but you know, some of those people who aren't familiar
not
are
aware.
not.
I love that you asked that. So I'm going to tell you from my experience personally, because a lot of tarot readers sometimes don't like read reversals with their card. So when I say reversal, it means the card comes upside down when I'm like pulling the card from the tarot deck. Whenever I pull a reversal, it makes me think of what does this specific energy, suggestion, vibration of this card mean? And what's missing from that? You feel what I'm saying? So for the Ace of Lanterns or the Ace of Wands, like traditionally, the way that I think about it is like somebody that's inspired, you know what I'm saying? Making things happen, following through, being intentional about like the things that they're doing to help themselves grow, to help themselves expand, like et cetera, et cetera. with this reversal right now, as far as the season of Aquarius season, this is making me feel like we may be struggling with that. So this is going to be a very important time for us to think about the things that are helping us to become motivated. Now, conjunct us finding ourselves in Aquarius season, and I'm sorry if I'm talking so much, the girl then got excited, so she's trying to tell all the tea. Basically, with this Aquarius season, it's going to be really important for you to think about the people that you are spending time with and the people that help you to feel motivated, right? The people that help you to feel excited to do things, the people that help you to like think about community work, think about community projects. Who can you spend time with that either help you do things that are like for the people or for yourself? Because listen, you matter, baby. So this is not all about just helping others. This is about doing things that are going to help you find your way back to you. And I feel like with the Ace of Lanterns, if you look at the card up right here, we have a person, a woman, who has a lantern. They're walking through a path in a forest, like on a very like dark night, right? And because it's coming in reverses, girl, I can't see. I can't see my way through. I may not have the tools or the materials to help me figure out the direction I'm going. And what this is speaking to is this month is going to be really important for you to like have faith and follow through. Because we have a vibe. Like some people are like, oh my God, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know like what I'm feeling, whatever. Like no tea, no shade. I'm like, bitch, you know what you want to do. It's just that you're waiting for somebody else to validate it for you. So if there was no validation necessary from anybody else, what would you be doing? And how can you allow yourself to either be around people or do things that support that claim? So the way that I bring that up to you, Lee, is in this season right now, what has been really important for you to like find yourself focused on? Like, have you been reading a lot? Like, have you been traveling a lot? Like, have you been calling your family a lot? Like, what's been important to you recently? And how can you continue to like follow through and experience that with other folks as you're going through Aquarius season, which is all the way from January 20th to February 18th? I know that's a heavy question.
Woo! Yeah. Well, I mean, this card, I was like, I'm totally like, oh my gosh, she pulled this card for me, which I'm sure anyone else listening, you're also probably thinking, this card is for me because it's accurate. It's so accurate. Like, I'm currently going through just the whole acceptance that my body cannot bartend forever. And I'm like, what's next? What do I want to do next? There's many things that I have skills in that I could jump into, but does that necessarily fill me with happiness? Jumping back into corporate management, am I doing it for survival? Or there's a other part of me that's like, no, I want to do something that's going to give back, whether it's going to give back to community or it's going to give back to nature or, you know, but I'm just like not following through. I'm not applying myself to figure out that next step because I'm like, the next step's going to come to me. So I was that girl. I am that girly over there. The next step's going to come. But I need to stop waiting.
Actually, already doing it right now. No tea, no shade, because we always going to be real. You're already ministering to the people. You know what I mean? Like this baby, like this experience, like this show is doing that work. You know what I mean? And I don't know if you recognize it as something that is not just monumental, but also like a vehicle for exciting others, you know what I'm saying? And like inspiring others. So don't shut yourself down just yet, because you're already doing the things. I think that like right now, what it sounds like to me is not just doing the things that like feel good and like are helping the people, but like the things that like financially like line the pockets and like doing the things that are going to help you to just like feel you are meeting the tax bracket that you want to. You're already doing it. Like, don't second guess that. I just had something in my spirit was like, don't let V slide past this without letting them know that they're doing the thing. So
Thank you.
I apologize.
Don't apologize. I appreciate that. Like, I got my cheeks like all kind of tingling from the smile right now. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Yeah, and I think that
of course
doing this kind of work, especially because there's not a lot of this kind of content out there that I think that, I don't know, I don't want to speak for both of us, but I often sit in a lot of that imposter syndrome of, am I really making a difference? Am I really doing God's work, if you will? So
Okay, hallelujah proud. Don't get me started because I am Southern Baptist by
right?
nature. So I'll start the hallelujah and the glory and the thank you, God. You know what I'm saying? Like at any moment. So don't get me started.
Yeah.
But I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you there completely. And I can identify in a sense, because I will continue to talk forever. So I'm going to wrap it up. Because I'm a chatty Cathy. I apologize, people. But I am the type of person where it's just like, I'm in a place right now where I know that something needs to change. And I know that people around me want those things to change. But I think that I have to invest in it for myself, one, and know that the work that I'm doing behind that is like helping me to like elevate and like grow myself and like be the person, you know what I'm saying? Like the bad bitch that I've always seen myself being. But I also think like part of it is similarly to like what you said, like finding the thing that like fills my soul. Cause it's like, I can do shit, but is this the shit that I really want to do? You know what I mean? And like wake up every day to do and like feel connected to. And I'm just not feeling that just yet. So I am trying to navigate those waters to figure out what feels #correct.
Yeah. And I had a friend who told me, she said, just try it. Try different things. You're not going to know if it's going to fit if you haven't tried it on. And I was like,
scary though. That's so scary. Like
it's terrifying.
I'm like, that sounds great, but like, do I really want to do that? And like, is it really gonna work? You know what I'm saying? Like, it worked for you, but like, will it work for me? You know, because I'm dainty. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, somebody told me this a year ago, and here I am today.
Okay, still fucking up, and I'm just like, Diva, help me. You know what I'm saying? So, but I think your friend has a really great point about just like following through. You know what I mean? And being committed to the process. But I think that it also kind of like boils down to figuring out what the process is and like doing the work behind that to actualize that in your life. And I feel like that's kind of like what the vibe of this Aquarius season is bringing. So I wrote this specifically to go along with the Ace of Lanterns meeting in reverse. But it says the Ace of Lanterns appears in reverse here because you are not sure if the question or situation that you're inquiring about is the right move for you to make. You may be finding yourself in the midst of a situation where you are unsure whether the proposed direction is the right direction, and it's time for you to make a decision on how you would like to move forward. More information on your desired trajectory is needed before taking the next step here. And it's time for you to illuminate the new pathway before making a decision on what's next. How are you diving deeper into your request to make sure it's the right choice for you at this leg of the journey? What are the repercussions you could face, and are they worth it? If you allow yourself to slow down and make your choice, you will see this through and be able to start anew. Don't find yourself becoming overwhelmed with having to start over. This could be exactly what you need to move on with clarity. So I feel like this is really just speaking to like this space of if something's not working, like let it go. And sometimes we get so comforted with comfortability. And I think that like the vibe of 2025 is giving like, fuck it all, like shut it all. Like if it's not working, let it go and do something different. And I'm like, that sounds great, but like, do I actually want to do something different? Like, this has been comfortable for me for so long, and I want to like relax here because I can at least nap. But I feel like everything is kind of like pushing to this sense of you deserve more. You know that you deserve more. You know what you want. You know how to like speak up for it and like bring it into your life. Stop second guessing yourself and go for it. Whatever that means for you and your life, people out there.
Yeah. And it's funny that you say that because I think it's actually the year of the snake in Chinese zodiac. It's the year of the snake again.
T. Okay.
And I was born in the year of the snake.
T. Okay. Wait, what year were you born? I don't know what year you were born.
89.
I knew it because I was like, I think we were born the same year because I was born year of the snake as well. So we're all about that shedding, letting things go, trying things anew. You know what I mean? Like brand new experiences, and also being like the witch's tits when we are having like these new experiences. Like we don't just show up in like hiding background. Like we are seen, like we are vibrant, like our vibration is elevated, like our energy is risen, and people notice that. And like that is our like divine code. You know what I'm saying? That's our aura. And people have been missing out on that from us. Like if you're listening to this, like they've been missing out on that from you for a while. You know, so it's like time to get back to that and time to start making moves. So that's what Aquarius season is giving to us as a whole. I think what it's saying is it's time to step out, do things, be bold, be vibrant, chart your own path. Don't be scared to start something new. Gain some illumination from the people around you that like see you in the same way, and make some shit shake. Don't be scary. If you want to find somebody to like help you through that, we're here. We love helping people or being present for the people. So just come hit us up. And that's going to be my reading / forecast for Aquarius season 2025. Sorry for talking so long. I got so excited because it was the first one.
It's okay. It's so easy to listen to you. You're just the way you speak and the way you deliver your energy, your aura. I'm seeing it and I'm enjoying it. I'm absorbing it. So
Because I'm vulnerable right now.
you weren't too much. I wish I could jump through this screen and just hug you.
It's going to happen very, very soon. I'm manifesting it late this year, early next year. So just be on the lookout for when it happens, because I'm pulling it down from the universe into our reality.
Yes, I'm here for it. Thank you for that reading. Thank you for your work. And I'm excited to continue doing these with you. For those of y'all that don't know, we're going to continue this every Zodiac season and get these readings from Gigi. And you're magic. You are magic. And thank you for sharing your medicine.
Thank you for allowing me to share it, not just with you, but like with all of the listeners out there, with people that have listened to the show like in the past that are coming back and like supporting and stuff like that. Like it truly means a lot. And to be able to like have this space to not just be my authentic self and like share, but also like continue to grow and continue to just like experience these things. So I'm super, super grateful. Thank you again.
You're most welcome. You're most welcome. Here we are building this community. And like Gigi said, don't be afraid to reach out to any of us, to any of the team, to any of us individually. We're all here to have any conversations that seem hard to talk to somebody else about. Reach out.
Absolutely.
Don't be afraid.
Absolutely. And we're those people to like get deep. You know what I'm saying? So don't think that any question, like vibe, whatever is like out of our periphery. Like, listen, burn the tea, because I can only speak for myself, but I love the tea and I love to talk. So let's chit chat.
Yeah. Right. And how can people follow you on socials?
You can follow me on, well, I call it Twitter still, but it's like X or whatever. Gangsta Gurry, gangsta with an A, because I don't do that ER buster shit over here. I'm not no gangster, okay? I'm a gangsta. Gurry is Gurry. I do have an Instagram. I'm saying this here first. It may get deactivated this year at some point, because I've been feeling very like, I don't want Instagram anymore. So it may get deactivated at some point, but if you can still find me and follow me, talk to me. I'll be around. And you can always email me, gangstagurry@gmail.com, if you want to discuss anything you heard on this episode. If you want to talk about getting your own personal services of some way, shape, or form, I'm always here to help. So hit a girl up. I'm around.
Yay. Wonderful. Thank you so much again.
Absolutely.
And till next month. Tap that follow button, give us a 5-star rating and review, and hey, your review might end up on the show. This podcast is organically grown by Rafaela Landestoy, Leah Jackson, and myself, V. Vasquez. Editor and sound designer, Leah Jackson of Puka Puka Creative. Original music, produced by Basque. His music is amazing. And emotional support by our fur babies, Nugget and Pukalani.
Sucking on a witch's titty like you wanted me, calling me.
Oh my God.
Best lie.
I don't know where that came from. It just felt appropriate.